that many people testify, and it gets one person. I'm pretty sure it's niggas. I shouldn't even say niggas. I'm sorry. But I'm pretty sure there weren't this many people at Jesus' execution lining up to snitch on this nigga the way they snitched on Vic. I mean, holy shit. That should be a Bible verse. I've never seen that many human beings testify against one dude every day. 5 people came to testify in the Michael Vick trial about puppies. Hold on. Excuse me? Like, again, y'all made excuses about an 11-year-old black child being murdered by police, and you say nothing. You make excuses. Oh, well, he should have kept his hands to himself. Like, I find excuses every day about why Tamir Rice and all these young black kids deserve to die. Those same people will turn around and be like, I'm pro-life, but believe in abortion and all this other weird shit. And then they'll also be like, I love dogs. I'm a member of PETA. I support police. All right, so you get what I'm saying? It's a bunch of bullshit. Now. No, it's upsetting because it's going to be a constant cycle. Mm-hmm. And the people who hate Michael Vick can only give you those same 2 bullshit reasons.
My take on it is if you genuinely care about animals, what
do you eat meat?
Well, besides all that, my take on it has always been, if you really care about animals that much, are you really concerned about what this man did, 10, almost 15 years ago?
Which, by the way, was a misdemeanor. They literally changed the law.
Can I talk? Because I'll let you talk.
I'm sorry, but they threw a black man in prison and literally rewrote the laws as they were doing it. And I was a kid watching that shit. I get it. We've
talked about that a number of times. My short take on it, just to wrap it all up, has always been, if you care so much about animals, there's so much other shit to care about. There's big agriculture, there's dairy, there's all sorts of other things you can worry about besides this one person's action 10, 15 years ago that they've already made over multiple times with his own philanthropy and etc.
It just kind of shows you where who the audience is for the NFL. It's a diverse audience, but at the end of the day, who it serves, because it's crazy how
who the core audience is.
Yeah, because I understand the frustration. It is fucked up what Mike Vick did. It's fucked up, and he should be remembered for it. But at the same time, for how they're up in arms for it, it's ridiculous. It's shit. There should have been a petition and people standing by Colin Kaepernick for what he did compared to what they should have. They should keep the same energy. I know they're 2 different things, but their focus, for me, it's just like you're saying, how you care more about animals than people. Don't get me wrong, I love animals, but I
think just even I agree with everything you're saying, but I think even just more so, it's it's easy to cast a stone at Michael Vick because you see him in the public eye, but it's what about you? What about all the shit you do? What about all the shit you done? So it's you want to hold this person to this one thing from 10 years ago. It's well, what about you? What have you been doing with the past 10 years of life? Because I know what he's been doing after the fact. Right? So it's you're just honing in on that one little incident. You're not seeing the whole picture and everything he's done after the fact, how he's learned about the situation and, done his best to make it over.
Did you notice how...
It is what it is. He knows people are always going to hate him. And it's not so much about that. It's just just move on. I don't know why it's so hard for people to move on.
I like the hypocrites who also just love to shit on him too. And it's it just amazes me because I think it was the Virginia treasurer came out and told a newspaper, saying that he owed $70,000 in back taxes. Why is a treasurer going to the media and telling him this man's personal financial business? Why is that our public knowledge to know that he is $70,000 behind in loans? Why? Everything the media and people can do to shred Michael Vick, they do it. But everybody gave Ryan Leaf a second chance.
That's true. Not even the second chance.
Third, fourth, fifth, seventh, and 15th chance.
He's on his like 15 chance.
A college football.
And he's just finally doing something.
DUIs, drunk driving, and he was a whore. And that's just one of the things.
And he even says he was a horrible person. Ron says he was a horrible person.
And honestly, I'm not going to just remember Vic for dogfighting. I'm going to remember that he survived it out of Virginia Beach, Virginia, became one of the greatest quarterbacks we've ever seen, revolutionized the game. Like, no.
He was the Allen Iverson of football.
Yeah, everybody wants to say, oh, remember this. Y'all don't remember Big Ben is sexually assaulting and possibly even allegedly raping 2 women in a bathroom.
Again, man.
So I ain't going to remember Mike Vick just for dogfighting.
Clearly, this should have been a segment on Let's Talk About It, because clearly we all want to talk about it.
I'm really pissed about it. Like, leave Michael Vick alone. Like, damn. And it's always, you can only point to black athletes that they do this to. OJ, I'm not saying OJ's guilty or innocent, but at a certain point.
That's not me, but we'll take it.
Yeah, at a certain point, it's like, okay, the trial's over. Leave him alone. I like this. You can only say that if you want to physically walk up to Michael Vick and whoop his ass. Or do what they did on ATL. If you got that much smoke, meet him in a fist fight. That's it. 1-on-1. Shoot the fade. Otherwise, shut up. No one cares.
Is that our new segment? Shut up. Just call it Shut Up.
Just shut the fuck up. Or get hit by
That's
a bus.
a lot coming from us, bro.
Is it really, though? Like, the one thing I love about this podcast is that we're just honest in the face of, like,
I'm just saying, we talk a lot, and for us to tell you to shut up, like,
if we gotta tell you to shut up,
like, y'all definitely gotta shut up.
If we gotta tell you to shut up, you might want to shut up. Like, let's talk about it.
But yeah, so I mean, honestly, these other 2 things, like, I really don't have to talk about, so we can just move on to touchdown or turnover. But I do.
It was a Pro Bowl voting thing.
On the same note, and that's what the last thing I wanted to touch on before we move on. Is 1, nobody really even fucking cares about the Pro Bowl.
Thank you.
And 2, like, without Michael Vick, there's no Lamar Jackson.
There's no Deshaun Watson. There's no Cam Newton.
Like, the black quarterback is thriving, and like, I'm glad that for once the NFL is trying to let a player reap its fruits while they're still alive.
They have no choice but to accept it, because when you realize. The
other thing is he's in the media now, so they have to.
But when you have to start admitting that black men are some of the most athletic people to ever walk the earth, if not the most athletic, I just show you track and field. And when you put them in a situation where they're the leaders, that you have to acknowledge them as your intellectual,
about it this way.
Intellectual, like, fucking equal or superior.
Think about it this way. We talked about it on this show when it happened, but I mean, it was really a big part of this show for reasons I can't say on the air, but they waited until literally the last game of the old arena in Atlanta to welcome Michael Vick back. Like,
and they brought Roddy White out there because they're not going to boo Roddy White.
Yeah, which they didn't boo Michael Vick. They were, but I'm saying it took them that long just to get to that point. It's like, why? Like, why can't you guys just move on? Like, this
he got you to the NFC title game.
And I'm saying, and I understand why. Like, I understand from a business decision why it took them so long, but at the same time, it's like
the public keeps shitting on them. I'm just like,
we got other shit to worry about.
Some of y'all got child molesters in your family that you cover for, man. But you'll shit on Michael Vick.
I mean, that's the hard truth.
Like, real talk. Some of y'all got child molesters in your family right now, Chester molester asses. But you want to shit on? You'll be the first person stomping the ground, pounding pavement, getting ready for people to sign petition. What is that petition? That's what another thing that pisses me off about this fake bullshit form of activism in 2019 that I'm sad we're carrying into this next decade. You think a petition is going to stop some money from being made? Do you really think a petition is going to stop some money from being made? Anybody at this table think that?
But that's also why I think that's also why they're doing it.
They're doing it
because they know the black quarterback is thriving right now. They know
it's not even that. They hate him.
But I'm saying the only reason why
they probably hate black quarterbacks too, though.
What I'm saying is the only reason why they're doing it right now is because it does make sense in the terms of money. Like, it makes them money because it's like
it's a Pro Bowl appearance.
There's going to be like black quarterbacks are going to own the Pro Bowl.
Yeah,
like they're going to be all over. So
you don't see many Tom Brady's and Phil Rivers walking around.
You got to have their GOAT there as a team captain. You can't have. Who else?
You didn't bring Randall Cunningham. You're not bringing out Dante Culpepper or Donovan McNabb when you could have.
But what I'm saying is,
you gotta bring Vic.
But what I'm saying is, you gotta bring Vic because he's the biggest name because of that. 1, 2, because we live in the highlight era, so people are looking up Lamar Jackson and are seeing him break Michael Vick's record, and so now they're going and look up Michael Vick.
After that,
now they're going to see Michael Vick, and
then they're going to go back and look at other black QBs during that time. Aaron Brooks,
and he's in the media. And he's a large figure at Madden. Like, people know him from Ultimate Teams. Like, so he's cool with the younger generation, too. So,
and didn't he win an NFL MVP?
No, he didn't. But
he was a Pro Bowler, right? When he came back?
He was a Pro Bowler, yeah.
I thought he was an All-Pro that year.
Yeah, he was. He was an All-Pro.
See, that's what I'm saying.
So that's what I'm saying is the only reason why they're doing it now is because he's topical.
Yeah. Otherwise, they would not talk about him. It would just be like, Michael Vick.
Sir, did you want to have the final word on it? Because you look like you were trying to talk.
No, all I wanted to say was it's just like, you know, I was also thinking like quarterbacks usually they're like, when I think of a quarterback, unfortunately, I think of like that white boy American dream, like you're the hero and you know, like I don't know. I feel like there's like this whole narrative. So if they change that narrative, it gives that one more you know, up and like, oh, they think they have this spot to be a hero and to lead and all this other stuff. I know I'm looking too deep into it, but I do believe that they are kind of questioning and kind of scared of that new narrative of these new black quarterbacks coming up and, you know, like honoring Mike Vick, who set that, you know, kind of not pathway, but kind of set that. You know, they're like, oh, we're not trying to do that. We're trying to keep them where they usually are, the runners of the balls. And
the thing is, like, and the biggest thing now is from then to now, like, Michael Vick was a round peg trying to be forced into a square hole. And now it's not so much like that because of him. Like, now offensive coordinators saying, okay, we can tailor our offense to our mobile, agile, fast, explosive black quarterback.
I mean, am I wrong? But I also remember like when Mike Vick was out, like, and he was an active quarterback. Like, not only him being a black quarterback, but for the fact that he can run the ball and successfully run the ball. That was like, I mean, I don't know if there was other black quarterback or other quarterbacks that did that before, but I'm saying, like, did he set that path too for that, like, to run the ball successfully?
I mean, as much respect as we're giving to him, yeah, there were pioneers before him. There's a lineage of black quarterbacks.
There's a lot of black QBs.
I'm not saying black quarterbacks. I'm saying quarterbacks in general running the ball successfully, like he, even though like.
Well, him and Randall Cunningham are the best to ever do it.
Yeah,
and now Lamar's in that conversation with them.
So he wasn't the pioneer.
No, he was not the first one. No,
he was like, okay, you have a dynamic athlete. He's a black dude, and he has to play quarterback. Cunningham had a rocket for an arm. Had 4.2 speed. Hell, his kid is at USC right now, All-American sprinter. His daughter's fast too, and his son's thinking about playing football at USC because he's like 6'6".
Y'all are sorry I have no DBs.
No, they got DBs. They just don't. The coaching.
They just don't do anything with them. Like
the coaching ain't good. They don't develop.
Yeah, they don't.
Adoree Jackson didn't really get developed, but now you got 3 USC receivers. One almost won the Biletnikoff. Shout out to LSU receiver, something I forget his name, but Rogers, number 1. He had like 20 touchdowns this year. He won the Biletnikoff. But anyway, when you look at black quarterbacks in the 70s, had one. I think he played for the Steelers, and pretty much just because there was a lot of racism, they didn't like him. He pretty much got the job taken from him, and they gave it Terry Bradshaw. So you had Cordell Stewart in the 90s. Like Cordell Stewart, if he played now in today's systems, he'd be an all-pro quarterback too, because he could pass, he could run. He did a lot of great things at Colorado, but they used him as like a gadget.
What, Quincy Carter?
No, Quincy Carter just sucked.